Hey ladies and gents, RFRift here with another video. Today what we're going to be looking at is Getsu Fuma Undying Moon. This is a new action roguelike that's come up recently from Konami, which is pretty sweet because it is a AAA roguelike, and I'm really excited to give some coverage of this. It's kind of a niche pick and has been something that's just straight out in early access here, so it hasn't been getting a whole lot of coverage. So I want to take some time to run over some beginner tips for anyone who's looking to pick up the game or just get started with the game. So without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, ladies and gents, so the first tip for Getsu is to set a goal for each run. Now, I've said this before in previous videos, but with roguelikes, you want to make sure you know what you're going to do or your goal before you start a run, or even halfway through your run. The reason why is because, like many roguelikes, there is meta progression. So you need to get your crafting materials back to the estate, which means if you die, you don't bring anything back until you get some upgrades. But that means if you do not make it back to the estate, you are never progressing in regards to getting more potion slots, getting more better weapons, getting upgrades for your weapons, and things like that. So you need to make sure you set a goal early and often. For myself, I did a lot of runs where I was just running through the first biome and then the second biome, or just the first biome, and just kept running back to the estate to make sure I could upgrade and actually be able to have a little more meta progression and actually make it deeper into runs. This is going to be something that's very important, and if you find yourself kind of finding this a little bit grindy, it is a little bit to start because you want to make sure you got to make sure you're getting your materials. If you don't do that, this game is going to seem really boring for you. You're going to say, okay, cool, so I don't really get anywhere with this. You need to make sure your first 10 runs have a goal of getting back to the estate. You want to make sure you're getting as much as possible, because if you are not, you're not going to be actually getting anywhere, and you're just going to kind of burn yourself out on this one. Building off my first tip, you're going to want to upgrade early and often. What that means is once you get enough materials for any upgrade, especially on your katana, because the katana is the first weapon you get, and it's always going to be there when you start your run, you want to make sure you're upgrading. You want to be able to make sure you can get more damage, as well as upgrade your secret arts and just your skills to be able to make sure you can get that meta progression, especially in regards to potion slots or being able to bring back materials once you die. These are all huge things that make A, Getsu way more fun, and B, makes it so you can push through and get farther into the bosses and make sure you're actually like seeing the rest of this game, because it is a gorgeous game and you want to be seeing those biomes that are farther into this, that's for sure. The third tip is to mix it up, ladies and gents. Variety is the spice of life. In Getsu Fuma, there are 6 main weapons and 6 sub-weapons. You want to make sure that you try them all out. Reason why is because you want to see what works best for you. Personally, for myself, I really stick to, with main weapons, I always stick with the katana and the dual blades. And I'll get to why I use dual blades a little bit later. But those weapons are really awesome for me. They fit my playstyle. I want to go fast, I want to hack and slash with people, and I also want to feel like a samurai. In regards to the secondary weapons, I'm always going to find myself grabbing bow and arrow as well as the bombs. Reason why? I like throwing bombs, making things explode, and the bow and arrow, the attack speed is ridiculous. The faster you can pull the trigger, they launch them all off. So I always want to make sure I'm using that to be able to make sure I'm actually getting somewhere and putting up my damage at all times. But that might not work for everyone. So always try out the weapons, especially when you're starting this game, because you want to make sure you're enjoying the game. You're having a fun gameplay loop, and sometimes you're going to get items dropped that are better, and if you get a really good spear drop and you've never used spear before, you might be hindering your run. So always important to mix it up, try it out, and don't be afraid to throw upgrade points or upgrade materials into weapons that you don't use all the time, because you might run into some really good weapons in later runs. The fourth tip for today is make use of your souls. A cool mechanic with Getsu Fuma is the use of souls. So once you gain a soul, you can use it to upgrade your main weapon. You gain 2 souls, you can use a sub-weapon, upgrade your sub-weapon. 3 souls, upgrade your health, and the 4th gives you an extra potion. And if you go over the 4 without using them, you then gain a soul memory, which you can use to upgrade your weapon in between boss fights. Now, with this, ladies and gents, it's very important to make sure you use them early and often. In the first biome, you're normally going to get at least 4 souls. That's what I found in my runs recently. And 4 souls gives you 1 upgrade in health and 1 upgrade in main. I always do this because a upgrade in health actually gives you more than what a health potion would do in game-wise. So it's always important to be able to do that. And then I always put one to main because guess that's what you're attacking with. That's what you're throwing down, right? You want to make sure that you're putting out damage, so might as well do your main weapon. So make sure you do this and make sure you get used to the kind of mechanic. Remember, it kind of stacks. So 1 and then 2 is your main, and then once you get another soul without using that one, you can use the sub weapon and so on and so forth. Personally, I would really focus on doing main weapon and health because of the fact that that's what keeps you alive and that keeps you doing damage. Also, a reminder that health does diminish. So after you upgrade it once, the second upgrade won't be as high. Obviously, it makes sense. The devs didn't want you just stacking health and being able to face tank all the damage. Also, quick reminder, little bonus thing I'll throw in here is as you progress, don't try and aim to get a potion every time. Reason why is because you're using 4 souls for that, and you gain a soul from searching the stone, or sorry, you gain a potion from searching the stone tablet in every biome. This is something that's changed recently with the patch, but you basically are going to be at max potions most of the time, unless you're getting used to the game or you're getting hit a bunch of times. But you can get a free potion from the stone tablet every time. Make sure you find that in your maps, even if it means you have to go out of the way to get it. The last tip for today is to become the demon. Now, another great mechanism with Getsu Fuma is the fact that you get demonization, or as I like to call it, just becoming the demon. Now, this is where you get the cool little wispy, glowy bits around your character. Basically, I like to think of it as you're becoming Super Saiyan. And this occurs when you hit an enemy repeatedly. So as you get more hits off, you will gain more the ability to become demonized, which increases your damage and your movement speed. Now, there are 3 stages to demonize, so it will stack up more if you kill enemies faster. You'll notice right now on screen I'm running around in second form of demonize, and you can put out a lot of damage. Now, this only happens if you continuously hit units and you do not take damage. A weapon that is really easy to get demon going on is obviously the dual blades. The reason why is because of the special. You just hold or hit Y and you Beyblade around, kind of turn into spin to win. And that is how I put out a lot of damage, and that's why dual blades is like my favorite weapon, because it just feels like I can melt through basically everything. Especially bosses, because hey, bosses stand still for a while, so we can just run through them and knock them down. This is a bit of a hard mechanism to get used to, but it's really nice in regards to A, hooks up your damage, and B is you can run faster, get more movement speed, and it kind of incentivizes you to run real fast. Kind of a little bit of a Sonic setup there. So this is one that it takes a little bit to get used to, but please make sure you get used to it, because the best defense is honestly a good offense. You want to be able to throw down as fast as possible in this game and just knock out mobs before they can hit you. And if you can do that by being in demon form, do it every time, ladies and gents. So, with that being said, that is my 5 quick tips for beginners of Getsu Fuma. For those of you who've been watching until now, I appreciate it. If you like the information, feel free to leave a like, follow the account, do all that fun stuff. If you're someone who's been providing feedback and comments, things like that, really appreciate you guys. And as always, I will take all feedback, all comments. Leave them let me know what you want to see, what you want me to improve, and we'll be going from there. But with that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one. Stay out of trouble. Peace.